Welcome back to the Ignite Test Prep YouTube channel. Today we have a very special guest. He's an absolute star. His name's Jonah. And yeah, he's been working with our students, letting them crush the SAT, leading them to 1500 plus. But also, he goes to Northwestern. He's got major ambitions, major personal goals, and a lot going on right now. So without further ado, let's introduce our special guest of the day, Jonah Perrick.
Yeah, thank you. Like you said, my name's Jonah. I'm a junior at Northwestern University right now, studying mechanical engineering. Absolutely love cars, aerospace, basically anything that moves, to be honest, like any vehicle. Always been into that ever since I was a little kid. Love F1, love all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I'm part of the Formula SAE team at Northwestern, so we build a race car every year, which is super exciting. This year I'm working on the cooling system for the accumulator, which is basically like the battery for the entire car, because it's an electric car. So obviously keeping that cool. We have a liquid cooled system. That's been a lot of simulation work, a lot of really exciting work designing that to running the sims to see if it's going to keep it cool. And we're going to build that hopefully in December or January. And yeah, last year I worked on the brakes. Year before that, the anti-roll bars. So super invested in that club. Absolutely love it. Hoping to work in possibly race car driving, working as an engineer for that, or anything relating to cars, to be honest, or aerospace, anything like that. Because I'm also in an aerospace concentration. So yeah, super excited to be doing engineering at Northwestern.
Whoa, that's crazy. So what's your favorite car?
What's my favorite car of all time? Ooh,
Mhm.
pressure's on. I do like a good Ford GT, classic,
Oh, yeah.
or a Lamborghini. Which is the one? Lamborghini Huracan. I'd say that was
Oh,
my dream car
wow.
since I was young.
That's
I
actually
feel that.
nice.
I know Zach's super into cars.
I
Oh
do
yeah,
like cars.
sick.
I do like cars. Sovic's always telling me BMW. So I like BMWs, but Sovic tells me I need to reach for the stars and like something better. Yeah. I want to get an M4. That's been like my dream for a long time. Like an M4 comp.
It's a good car, very solid car.
It is a very solid car. So what got
Yeah.
you
What you
into
think about? Oh
yeah,
no, go on.
what got you into liking cars?
What got me? Honestly, the movie Cars, like the Disney movie, one of the best movies of all time.
It is
I
a
watched
pretty
it
good
like
movie.
literally. I think I've seen it probably 20, 25 times.
Oh
And I
wow.
always loved the racing aspect of it. And then obviously as I grew up, I started getting into F1, especially around
Yeah.
COVID. Like I got into the Drive to Survive
Yeah.
series. I'm one of those. I'm sorry. Um,
That's all good.
but yeah, then I got started getting really invested into it and like finding out that it's more than just a racing competition. It's also like an engineering competition as much as there's a racing competition. So that was super fun. And then yeah, just finding out more about that and then getting to build my own race car.
Yeah, that's super cool. I'm curious, what do you think about like the way engineering is kind of evolving with regard to cars? Like China's obviously developing their cars. America, we got a whole lot of EVs coming out. What do you think about the whole like electric vehicle market?
Yeah, I think it's super exciting, and I think it's been cool to see across my lifetime how much better it's gotten and how quickly it's progressing. Like literally, the progress is exponential. I remember in the beginning when I was like 10, everyone was like, "Oh, electric cars, whatever." You can get like what maybe 50 miles, and you have to plug it in, charge it for 2 hours. And now with like the Tesla superchargers, it's like, oh, you can go for 500 miles, and you only need to charge it for 20 minutes, and then you're good to go again. So it's been really cool to see how quickly it's been getting better. And I've also seen that like in our team, like you can really once you start working things out, you can start working things out really really quickly. Like we were talking about, this is our second year doing electric vehicles because before that we had an internal combustion engine, and already we're trying to work out like regenerative braking. So like when you're braking, the wheels are still spinning, so you can like convert some of that energy back into the motor by using it as like a generator. So yeah, it's been super cool. I think it's a really interesting market. We'll see how it develops. Because I think people will still always love gas cars, especially like in the top level of cars. Those will always be gas cars,
Mhm.
like high performance cars. But it's interesting. I think they'll become extremely popular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. They're already, those Waymos are like everywhere
Hmm.
in like Texas. Or those are those self-driving ones. I don't know if those are electric, but also China, they have those like Xiaomi cars. They're like 70K. They're super fast, electric too.
Hmm. Yeah, the acceleration gain on those is insane. Like
Hmm.
even on our
Yeah,
little
what do you
race
think
car,
about
it's
China?
crazy. Hmm? Yeah,
China's
go ahead.
like really good at engineering, right?
Yeah, they got some great schools. Like when you look at the top universities, it's
Hmm.
always like a bunch of like ones in China. These those the Beijing School of Engineering, whatever it's called. That one's always
Hmm.
super high up there. Yeah, there's some incredible engineering. It's been crazy how quickly, like if you look at their history, how quickly
Mm.
they've developed and been able to come up with some crazy engineering. It's really impressive.
Yeah, have you seen those videos of like what Chinese cities look like these days?
Hmm.
They're
Yeah, I see
so
some of those online.
They're
and like
very
super
advanced.
cheap. Have you ever wait, you're traveling right now, right?
Hmm. I'm in Edinburgh right now, studying abroad for the semester.
Nice. How is it?
It's amazing. It's like a wonderful city. It's very different from studying back in the States. So I'm very grateful to being able to experience both. I still think I prefer studying in the States. But then again, I may be biased just because I'm like only here for 3 months, so it doesn't really feel like I'm as academically like
Yeah,
I'm more focusing on like experiencing the city and experiencing uh studying abroad and the culture abroad as opposed to like just being fully locked in. But
yeah. Is this your first
Is
time
your
studying abroad or?
uh I grew up in Paris,
Mm.
so not really. So
Oh,
I lived
okay.
in Paris for my first 18 years
Oh,
and did
wow.
high school there. And then
Wait,
obviously,
so
did my SATs, moved to the
so can
States.
you
Yep.
can you speak fluent French?
Yeah.
Really?
I went to French
Okay,
high
we
school.
gotta.
Hmm.
I'm not that good at French, but I know a little bit. I gotta see. So I know como ça va. I know that
Ah,
first,
très bien. Ça va
and
bien.
then yeah, I know that means very good. And then that's about all I remember. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's a good start.
Uh,
Okay, you got the essentials.
but that's actually crazy. That's actually so crazy.
yeah, dang. So what would you say is like the biggest like culture shift being in Edinburgh compared to like being at Evanston?
That is a good question. Um, like in terms of school or in terms of just like the culture overall?
Yeah, like the city.
I like how walkable Edinburgh is. Like it's a really small and compact city. So like anything I need to get to, and I live in a super central area, so anything I need to get to, I can literally walk to in like 15 minutes. As opposed to Evanston, where like if I want to get downtown, it's like a 45-minute Uber or like an hour and a half on the train. And like even getting to the supermarket's like a bit of a hike. I have to walk like 20 minutes. Whereas here it's like a 2 minute walk. And it's just I'm very much a city person. I grew up in a city, so I love the city. So I like that kind of city feel that Edinburgh has, which I don't feel like Evanston has because obviously it's just like a suburb of Chicago, and like the actual proper city is a bit far away.
Yeah. Yeah, surprisingly enough, Zach and I are actually from like that area. Like we're from Illinois.
Yeah,
No way.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
like
we
the
both been at
craziest part. Yeah, I live like I don't know if you've heard of like Joliet, like the Joliet area.
Nah, where's that?
It's like from Evanston, it's probably like 50 minutes. It's
In which direction?
it's southwest. It's like yeah, it's like
Okay.
southwest of yeah. And then yeah, so I've heard that Northwestern's like a very good school. I know like Northwestern's like one of the top, especially for people who are trying to get into like medicine. They're always trying to go to Northwestern. So that's actually pretty nice.
Yeah, definitely a great school. I love it there. And also very good med school. Yeah, Northwestern medicine is like everywhere. Um,
Yeah.
my friends who study medicine, they are very brave. Who are doing the pre med and the MCAT track. It's
yeah, it's a
not what
lot.
I'm most passionate about, but yeah, it's super difficult. Like massive respect to them.
Yeah.
100%. I'm curious, like where with like Mech E and you mentioned like a little bit of aerospace concentration. Do you see yourself like kind of working on like jets, planes, like fighter jets? Like where do you kind of see yourself?
Yeah, that'll be super exciting. I'm still trying to figure it out. So I had an internship last summer where I was working at Crystal Group. So they do a lot of like contracts with planes. They build rugged servers. So they're like servers for planes which are like built to survive really rough conditions because like obviously you're in a plane, it's like vibrating, it's really cold, it's really hot depending on where it is. Um, yeah, like in the airplane. And so that was interesting, like working kind of towards aerospace. And hopefully next summer I'll have another internship where I can maybe in a more car related field to see what I like. So like definitely, I don't know. I think there's lots of options as of now. So just have a couple more internships, figure out what I like, and then settle down somewhere.
I feel that. And obviously like there's a lot of students who watch our channel mainly to like kind of prepare, like they want to learn from like people who are like ahead of them and like a lot of students would love to be in your position, like studying their dream field at their dream school and like preparing like honestly it's like a stepping stone to like you can really do anything after you graduate. So what kind of where do you think like students who are in high school right now where do you think they should be like putting their focus and their time, especially nowadays with like AI, ChatGPT? I guess like what advice would you say like you have for just kind of like the average high school student who's watching?
That is a good question. Um, Obviously, I remember being in high school. It's super stressful. Like you have all the stress of high school and then all the stress of applying to college. Um, but I would say focus on extracurriculars. Like 100% would be what I would go to, because obviously focus on your exams. But then once you get into that 1500 plus range, then what's really going to make the difference is your extracurriculars. Um, and then make sure you apply to a lot of schools. Like I think that's huge, because it is somewhat random once you get up to the top, and just the more schools you apply to, the better chances you have. Because like I mean, I'm comparing with like friends, and I'm, like some of my friends gone to like I don't know Brown, which I got rejected from, and then I got into Northwestern, they got rejected from Northwestern. So like if you spread it out, you're definitely increasing your chances. So it's important to apply to a lot of schools, and then focus on extracurriculars, which um that you like and that you're passionate about. Um, And it's also important to like have obviously good extracurriculars, like maybe an academic one and a sports one. So it's good to have a good range, but try and find ones that you're passionate about and then really focus on them. And then also like keep working hard in school. Super important. Like obviously that's just basic advice, but focus on extracurriculars. Don't let school consume your life, but obviously don't like slack off at all. And make sure you stay hardworking.
Wow. That was, I feel
100%.
like you said that pretty well. And that's one thing I feel like people don't notice is that you don't want to just be like that student who could only do school. You want to be that student who has like everything around them. You want to be like a student who's just not a robot, basically. You want to have a personality. And I feel like that's a good thing. We can now actually see that you're a student from Northwestern, and one of the ways you made it there is because you knew that you're gonna need that stack of extracurriculars to boost your chances of getting into like a dream school like that.
Yeah, you're so right.
Yeah.
Like everyone I've talked to at Northwestern, they always have like such interesting stories of what they did in high school. And like they worked on such interesting projects. And
Exactly.
like I find myself, no matter what they were talking about, thinking, wow, that's actually so cool. Even if like the thing in itself isn't like maybe the most impressive thing, like it's not like, oh, I like cured cancer or whatever, or like built this insane robot, but they talked about it with such passion and they made it sound so interesting, and you could really tell that they cared about it a lot. So I think that that's super important, because like genuinely every single person I've talked to has been super invested in their extracurriculars. So it definitely just shows like how that's what schools are looking for, because a lot of them just didn't have perfect grades, or they had really good grades but not perfect all the way through. Um, so yeah, extracurriculars, like everyone, that's like the common link between everyone.
See,
Yeah, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
yeah,
Yeah, a
I
lot of
feel like
parents are like they really invest in volunteering and like sports activities and like grades, but it's extracurriculars that help you stand out.
Hmm.
yeah, I
And
feel
then the
like this
essays as
is
well.
Oh yeah, and the essays. I feel like this is a good reason for why most students they need like a mentor, someone like you, because you already went through the college selection process and you were able to do very well in it. And so I feel like the only way students could get real feedback and actually know where to go when it comes to selecting where they want to go to school is being placed with a good mentor like you, Jonah.
Hmm. Yeah,
And I'm
thank you.
curious, what are your thoughts of like, because obviously the major thing right now is AI, right? The whole like AGI and like whole lot of stuff going on with that. Where do you kind of see like the kind of the future of education? Because obviously, like when we grew up, when we were in high school, we didn't have ChatGPT, and like all throughout school as well. And now the students who are currently in high school, they've had it. And like now the kids that are growing up, they have it as like a tool for them, like on Grok, on Google Gemini, like it's everywhere. What effects do you think that's gonna have on the next generation?
Yeah, I think you said it really well. Like saying that it's a tool. It's important to remember that's just what it is. It's a tool. It's like a calculator. It's not like a living, breathing, thinking thing that's going to do your work for you. It's just like another tool, which is definitely like it's a really smart tool without a doubt. But at the end of the day, it's still just a tool and something that you need to learn how to use and not to depend on. Um, I remember when ChatGPT was first coming out, like when it first came out as I was like leaving high school pretty much. That was a very early version of like the first chatbots. And everyone was like, wow, this is insane. This is so good. It can do everything. And then as time kind of went on, we started realizing its limitations, which obviously it's come past some of those. But still, like if I put in a math problem chances are it's going to get it wrong. Um, but it can give me like leads and places to start, which is the way you should be using it. It's like it's a good way to like get started. If you have an essay, it's a good way to like give you some ideas, help you brainstorm. I like feeding it my like essay like plan and like saying, okay, is this like a reasonable thing to do, a reasonable way to get started? Or, like based off these two ideas, give me a third idea to like continue this argument of similar thing because it helped with research like that. But then like I don't like it coming up with too many ideas for me. And then I think it's also important to like write your own stuff. So I really think that people should be using it at the beginning and at the end. So like using it in the beginning to like help research, help brainstorm, and then at the end you feed it your essay and you say like, okay, like check for spelling, don't change anything, just like check spelling, check for polishing, like check for redundant sentences and things like that. Um, but yeah, I think it definitely should be used, especially in engineering. Like we use it all the time. Like I use it for everything, and it's really cool because I've had some classes which have like encouraged it as well. Because I had one professor who was like, okay, I know you're going to use ChatGPT on all your assignments anyways, so I've made it like twice as hard as the class was before, but you have unrestricted access to AI on all your exams and all your homeworks. So go
Oh
crazy,
wow.
go nuts, use anything you want, any resource. And I thought it was a great way to do it because that's what it's like in the workplace. Like I remember when I had my internship last summer, I was using ChatGPT all the time to like problem solve, prototype. So I think it's super helpful, but you need to remember that it's a tool and it's not going to do everything for you, and that it doesn't put everyone on a level playing field. The people who know how to use ChatGPT will definitely be ahead, and they'll especially be ahead of the people who are overly reliant on it. The people who use it like not all the time, just when it's needed.
And I'm not sure if you've seen, but like the stats have kind of come out recently as of like children's like baseline reading and writing abilities and the baseline math and the baseline like critical thinking have like kind of dipped ever since ChatGPT came out. And obviously like one of the reasons we kind of do what we do is like to solve that gap because we feel like human mentorship will be that solution for children. Um, but what do you think parents can kind of do to make sure that their kids don't kind of end up like practically disabled because they're using ChatGPT instead of learning the skills of like reading, writing, and critical thinking?
Yeah, that's a tricky question. Um, I think obviously reading is super important. Like encouraging kids to read like the actual books. Um, and then an argument I hear all the time is people who like don't want to take math, saying like, oh, whatever, I'm never going to use math 'cause I want to do history or English or whatever. I think it's super important to also like encourage math in schools and like have people keep doing math problems. Because even if like okay, if you're gonna study whatever literature, and you won't be using derivatives or integrals in your day to day life, it still teaches you some really valuable problem solving skills, which you'll use no matter what. So it's important to like keep pushing traditional education. I think, obviously, like education needs to change with the time, but like it's important to remember the fundamental philosophy of education, of like learning how to think for yourself, learning critical thinking skills, learning how to look at ChatGPT and decide if what it's giving you is right or wrong, why you think it's right or wrong. So I think it's important to like make sure that kids are really getting these critical thinking skills. That's what parents should be encouraging.
Yeah, that's really well said. Where do you see the future of AI? Like, because obviously OpenAI, they're doing a whole lot. NVIDIA is obviously like the biggest kind of stock in the world, the GPUs. Um, and kind of just a whole lot's going on right now, like Palantir, Elon Musk. And I know obviously like you're in tech, but you're not exactly like, come on. But like you're not exactly like in the AI engineering side, you're more on the like the actual mechanical engineering side. But
Mhm.
what are your final thoughts on like kind of the future just overall? Future of tech?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like you said, I'm definitely not the best placed person to answer that, but I feel like we're gonna keep getting better and better, but at a slower and slower rate. Like I feel like we're approaching the limits of what ChatGPT can do, and then it'll be like more figuring out applications. I also think there's a risk that AI right now is a bubble, which is gonna like burst, like an economic bubble, like and it's just gonna like fully crash in a bit, and the people are gonna realize it's completely overvalued. I think that's a possibility. I'm not saying it's definitely gonna happen, but I think there's a possibility of the AI bubble like bursting, like the housing crisis bubble in 2008. But I don't know. It's interesting. I think people are like over exaggerating at the moment how good it is and how useful it is. It's definitely useful, but I think people are like overselling it because obviously, I mean that's like marketing. Like obviously, the AI companies are gonna oversell it.
Mm. I was wondering if you guys saw that they said that they're gonna make like a Nokia phone, and these Nokia phones are gonna have like Nvidia chips inside of them. And so apparently they're gonna be like the crazy, like next level type of phone. I was wondering if you
I
guys
have
heard
not
about
seen
that.
that, but
Oh, you haven't heard
that
about
sounds
that?
very interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I thought it was interesting too because now that makes me realize that brings like the AI capability when it comes to phones. That brings it like to a whole nother level. And I kind of want to see that.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Any other like place on the bucket list for you? Like any spots you really want to visit in the world?
That's a good question. I would love to go to Asia, Eastern Asia, Southeast Asia. That's my next big place I really want to go to. Visit that part of the world because I haven't been there and it looks amazing.
Yeah, I heard it's cheap too, and like super pleasant.
Always
Anywhere
good for
else?
students. Um, I don't know, I just want to visit everything, but like that's my next big one that I really want to get to.
That's what's up.
Like big trip through there.
Any like passion projects that you're working on, like outside of school, just kind of like your personal hobbies?
Um, that's a good question. Like obviously the car. I play water polo, so I love playing water polo. I do that a lot. Um, those are my main two things that take up a lot of my time: the car and the water polo. And then obviously like I like visiting new places, hiking, walking around, being out and about, like in nature, discovering new places in the city. But no major projects beyond the car right now.
I feel that. Any big like vices? Like what do you like to do like after like a long week of like finals and stuff?
Um, I like to go reconnect with nature because I feel like I spend a lot of time inside, specifically in the engineering library during finals week, staring at my computer, like staring at bright fluorescent lights. And then at the end, I kind of just need to like go outside and sit in the park or something, or sit on the beach because Northwestern has like a nice little beach because it's on Lake Michigan.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been there.
So I like to do that and just like hang out and reconnect and like have a brain detox. So like no phone, no scrolling or anything. Just like sitting there with my thoughts, letting myself calm down. I think that's really helpful for me. It's something I like to do.
Oh, that's really good. Hushing grass, getting well acquainted with nature. I feel that. Yeah, no, honestly, that's mad interesting. So any like anything on your mind? Any big questions?
I just think it's very important that most students take this as like a lesson and start. And if you're like starting to get into college, you're in that college application process, now is the time to really recap and think, do you have enough extracurriculars to make yourself seem interesting? And if you don't, maybe now is the time to start building that resume because if not, you're going to end up lacking. You're going to end up being in last place when compared to all the other students because students now are starting to realize that college is just more than just getting straight A's. It's more than getting that ACT or that high SAT score. You need to be an all around student. And if you're not, you're just going to be left behind, especially those who just plug in like all of their homework answers into ChatGPT, those who text their friends for like all the homework answers and stuff, you're going to be left behind. And especially when it comes to, even if you do go into college, you graduate, are you going to have those skill sets to get into a job after? Because now we know people don't want uh, entry level candidates anymore. They're looking for someone who's entry level but has the skill of someone who's been working for 5 years already. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, like we gotta remember the one thing AI can't do, like obviously AI is the best at calculations and computational things, but the one thing AI can't do is like it can't like create that genuine connection with other people.
Yeah.
And that's what admissions officers are actually looking for. It's like that X factor. Like you want to be able to showcase charisma through your application. And charisma genuinely comes from like the experiences you have, the stories you can tell, and the things that you do. And those are the things that ultimately set you apart in the long run. So
Yeah.
if you're a parent, best advice that we could give is like make sure that your child like obviously use ChatGPT for like the fullest that it provides you, like the different tools and everything, but also the biggest toolkit for your child is going to be themselves, their skill set, and their experiences. And the best thing you can do is allow them to develop that skill set by learning from real world mentors, as well as putting them in the arena where they have to learn things, figure it out, and constantly iterate. That's how you build, real people who can move forward in the world. And that's how you really set them up for success. And yeah, so a great pod. Any last words of advice, Jonah, for like parents, students watching, families?
Yeah, one last thing I was thinking is that it's really important to learn how to like sell yourself. Like you say, that kind of like that charisma thing. Even if you don't think that your activity is super interesting, or maybe on the in the opposite, if even if your activity is super interesting, you're still going to be behind someone who like has a maybe less interesting activity to admissions officers, but like is really passionate about it and sells it super well and like convincingly talks about it. So it's important to like make sure that you're maximizing how you're talking about whatever extracurricular or whatever else you're doing all the time.
1000%. Yeah, overall, this was a really great show. Really appreciate you coming on, Jonah. And
Yeah, thanks for having me.
parents, students, hope you got some value. If you did, drop a comment, drop a like. We're gonna leave Jonah's socials in the description. You can connect with him, drop a follow on his Instagram, all that good stuff. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. Hopefully, yeah, we'll probably have Jonah back as like a recurring guest at some point. And at the end of the day, this was the Ignite Test Prep podcast. And catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Bet. All right. Okay, I feel like honestly, this is probably a good time. We could have like a meeting and like just explain to Jonah like at least like what we're doing and maybe like our side. What do you think? Is so like frozen? Wait, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me?
He looks like he might
Okay.
be frozen.
Yeah, yeah, let me see. I think he might still be recording too. Let me call him up. Hey, I think yeah, I think you just crashed. Oh, you're back. Okay. Oh, okay. Try do you have like a lot of like applications open on your Mac? Yeah. Okay.